So yes, we've got two big matches on this edition of Monday Night Raw. We have Bobby Lashley going against whoever Big E picks to face him in the main event. And we've got number one contendership for the Raw Tag Team Championships, where whoever wins will face RK Bro at our version of WrestleMania. So exciting stuff in this edition. So let's get to it. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stuart Vine and welcome to episode 22 of my Bonding Day WWE save on E22. So we're back. Obviously another hiatus again. New things happening in life. So it's hard to try and get a schedule going. But we're getting there. We'll give us a more couple of weeks and I'll get like a steady schedule sorted. So it'll be all good. But until then it's going to be a bit of a video here, a video there. We'll get there. But anyway, so yes, obviously this edition is we're on Monday Night Raw. Obviously week 3. We've got one more show after this before we get to our version of WrestleMania. So yeah, some big stuff coming through this edition. Obviously, I said in the intro, we have Bobby Lashley, WWE Champion, going against whoever picks. Big E's going to pick the opponent. He chose someone that's really well known and is a former WWE Champion. So I won't tease that too much. Not as much anyway. But yeah, so obviously we got that, and obviously we got number championship for the WWE World Tag Team Championships. Who's going to face RK Bro at WrestleMania? Obviously, and then we've got like a battle royal to find out who's the last person in the women's battle royal, as well as many other things. So yeah, it's a good show. It's shaping up to be a good show. Really proud of this one. So, and that or say if you enjoy if you enjoy this save so far, please like and subscribe. Really helpful. And obviously leave a comment to let me know if I'm doing anything right or wrong. Enough of me chatting. Let's get into this. And we start with Bobby Lashley in the ring, demanding Big E to tell him who is he facing tonight in the main event. So let's get to it. We kick off with the WWE Champion in Bobby Lashley in the ring. He's basically frustrated by the idea that Big E's going to pick his opponent tonight, and he kind of not regrets it, but he's kind of like furious that Big E would, why didn't he tell him there and then last week? Why did he not tell him all that kind of stuff? So he kind of demands Big E to get out here and tell him who he's facing tonight. And obviously Big E comes out. Obviously Big E feels like a massive grin on his face, kind of knowing, okay, you're the one that agreed to this, so you can't be acting frustrated when I have all the power. You've had all the power last couple of weeks. I have the power this week. And basically, he just used the very frustratingly worded, "You just have to wait and see." And Bobby's not happy. Big E we still don't know who's going to face. So we'll find out probably later tonight who Bobby Lashley's opponent's going to be in this kind of Big E picking his opponent leading up to WrestleMania. So, but the 57, good stuff there. Obviously, you've got stuff like the segments that deserve a better announcing, and the segment way too long. Okay, fair enough. But that's all cool. But from one disgruntled person to another, with obviously another backstage stuff with the RK Bros kind of having a bit of a disagreement yet again, with Randy kind of talking to Riddle, kind of like wants him to calm down because he's been a bit out of control last couple of weeks. And obviously he did kind of threat that he'd be involved in that number contendership match. He's kind of trying to tell him, don't do it. That segment gets 54, very good there. Struggling to go off script. That is absolutely rubbish. That game is utterly, that is a rubbish statement. Randy's very good at going off script because he's one of the best. But yeah, so basically he set up that Riddle's kind of looks like he might be involved. He'll probably get involved in the match that is next. Obviously double championship between the Street Profits and the Alpha Academy. But yeah, it's kind of, as I said, Randy just, saying to Riddle, just don't do it, just keep out of it, and we'll face who we face at WrestleMania. So obviously then that ties in nicely to the first match of the evening, and it is a number one contendership match for the winner facing the RK Bros for the Raw Tag Team Championships. So I'd be interested to see, is it going to be Street Profits or is it going to be the Alpha Academy? Obviously, the Alpha Academy got a title shot after just kind of goating Riddle into it. Street Profits are like, well, no, because we deserve a shot. So set up a kind of tag team, number one contendership match. So let's find out where we go. So the winner of and facing RK Bro at WrestleMania for 39. Yes, it is a disqualification here while fighting. Okay, might have messed it up with the kind of whole thing, but basically the whole thing is what I've put is that it was supposed to be a good match, and Riddle gets involved, comes into the ring and takes out both guys, and it's a double DQ. I think I might have done this wrong here, but I've put that the Academy defeated Street Profits, but I'm going to put a double DQ. Because that's why I've put it. But it's fine. Obviously, with a high score, it is obviously the Street Profits 36 each. Obviously, 32, 33. Once it's followed both off their game, 39. I know they can do better. But when you're thinking about the basically was it 36 there, 39 for the match. Actually, that's not bad. But yeah, I don't know more to say to it. That's supposed to be a double DQ, but that's fine. We're just explaining that it's WDQ. We talk about it next week. But obviously after that, Riddle is obviously attacking both sides, both teams here, and obviously Randy comes down to try and stop him. And yeah, and it's kind of another situation. He pushes him out of the way, and Randy Orton's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And kind of everyone's shocked and kind of like, yeah, what are you doing? Like, why are you getting involved in this match? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? So yeah, so that segment gets to 38. Not the greatest, but it will do. But yes, it's simple as that. So basically, no one's facing it at WrestleMania, so it looks like, you know how wrestling works. If you have an ODQ, there's probably a good chance it's probably going to face both of them at WrestleMania. But obviously, we'll find out if any GMs or any authority figures decide to make that match. But yeah, not the greatest match rating wise, but it's fine. It's all cool. So obviously after that, we hear from the reigning, defending, undisputed United States champion, talking about defending his title and basically talking about his match against KO and that kind of stuff. And that gets a 44. Vega, that's much better. But yeah, kind of confusing here. I like the idea that basically, like, Damien Priest is kind of, his confidence is growing high. He's had big wins. He's talking about KO, he keeps saying he wants to be the face of America again, and he wants to do this, he wants to do that, and yeah, and basically like this is a different Damien Priest, and this Damien Priest is going to prove why KO is not the top dog anymore. Damien Priest is, and he's going to hold that title for a long time. And yes, that's quite nice. Yeah, it's going to set up a nice match later on in the night. But yes, obviously after that, we go to Gable Stevens, that obviously is made his debut a couple weeks ago, and he's had a bit of a problem with. But I mean, let's say Apollo Crews had a bit of a problem with him, and obviously this all culminates in the next segment. Obviously that gets to 34. That you nothing expect there, nothing crazy there. But yes, you just Gable talking about how Crews saying he doesn't know he just tells him he wouldn't know hard work if it was slapping him in the face, and he's gonna tonight prove that he's gonna prove that hard work pays off in the end. And Apollo Crews actually comes in and says you like hard work so much. But okay, so let's say tonight if you beat a opponent of my choosing, and you win, if you win, and I'm talking about if you win, you face me again next week, the go home show before WrestleMania, and I can finally once you show that your win against me was a fluke. And show that basically I'm better than you. And obviously Gable Stevens would relish at the chance. And obviously Apollo Crews is very happy with this and kind of walks off and kind of sets up the kind of that match is going to be next. So who is Gable Stevens going to face? Who's he going to pick? Is he going to have a Commander Aziz? Going to pick him again? Is it going to be somebody else? So let's find out. So who's Gable Stevens going to face? And is he going to win? Let's find out. So in the next match, who's going to win? Let's find out. And the winner of this match is 23. Yes, this match was not great. For 23, a lot of low scores at the moment. It will affect the score overall. But yes, this is so almost was the mystery opponent. He's kind of been a kind of what's the word I'm looking for? He's been kind of like a mercenary for hire. It's kind of what you do with a guy that big. Got to think something. I like the idea that you can use him as in that way for the moment. But yes, this match is kind of interesting. Basically, Almost is in control most of it. And the way I want to end it is, it says submission. I mean, you could do that. Actually, that could work, actually. But I like the roll-up of Doom. By Gail Stevens, finds a way to get him on the floor and kind of does a roll-up pin victory for the win. It looks like Gail Stevens is facing Apollo Crews next week. But Apollo Crews takes advantage of Gail Stevens being in a match. And after the match, attacks him from behind for 32. Very good there. Attacks him from behind. Sits there and hits his standing moonsault. Goes to the top, hits his 450. Gail Stevens taken out. Apollo Crews looking good. So Apollo Crews taking the momentum going to that match next week. So it should be good. So let's find out. We'll find out about where that goes next week. So obviously after that we hear from the Rated R superstar, who's so we cut to break. We go back and Edge is in the ring talking about the fight with AJ last week, and kind of like why has he got such a problem with AJ Styles? So that's obviously go for that for a 61, very good there. But yeah, it's kind of I like the idea of basically Edge coming out talking about I don't hate AJ. I just see him as an obstacle in my way, and he keeps getting in the way of what my true dream is. My mission is to become world champion once again. And he just basically, AJ just keeps getting in his way. And that frustration boils over, and he just wants to take AJ out, and he wants to finally live his dream and finally become a world champion once again. But obviously Dolph Ziggler comes out, kind of sitting there going, here we go again. Let's do like a meta thing where it's like a why is it not me type thing, because Dolph's known for that. But yeah, Dolph comes out sitting there going, you're past tense. You're no one. You're nobody. You're just nothing. Like Dolph Ziggler, this is my time. It's about time that it's the time of Dolph Ziggler. And he knows that Dolph's like, if I could beat you tonight, you won't even you'd be so badly beaten that you won't even get a hope of getting a world title by the end of the year. But I would be, because I deserve. Anyone deserves another world title shot with the hard work that I do. It's me. And obviously Edge is like, okay. Then sits there and slaps him in the face, and then Dolph does what's to that, and there's 2-1 beatdown, and kind of sets up the next match. So that's all we have. Edge. I think put Dolph here. I might have changed up a bit, but let's find out what match I went for, because they're all kind of the same anyway. So obviously the Edge's match next is either Dolph or Bobby Roode, and let's find out. And the winner is Edge versus Robert Roode. Yeah, I did put exactly what I put. Yeah, for 46, very good there. 27 Robert Roode's, 52, 46. Pretty decent match, nothing crazy, nothing terrible. Basically, it's basically Edge to show Edge looks good. Exactly what it says here. Hits a spear for the win. And good stuff here. So, but it's not the end. I'm kind of doing a thing. I like doing this. So obviously after the match, obviously Edge gets attacked by Dolph. He isn't happy. Obviously AJ comes for the save. And it kind of sets up the match. The next match is going to be Dolph versus AJ. But obviously we just get to that for a 45. I mean, so the simple thing of just the matches outside to get involved AJ, and then after the match, after the scuffle, the next match between two teams and next. So obviously Dolph versus AJ Styles. So is AJ going to get a win as well to prove to Edge that he wants to get him out of the way, but it's going to take something special to do that at WrestleMania. And let's find out. So the winner of this match is for 58. Very good. So very good here. We obviously we put Calf Crusher here. That could work as well. You got 59 there by AJ Styles, 42 by Dolph. Dolph is underrated. I do like Dolph. You can always put him against someone and he'd be really good. So obviously they put a Calf Crusher. I put that he just goes for a super kick. AJ counts it into a Styles Clash and gets the win there. So nothing crazy here. Again, it's just a good solid 10-minute match. AJ looks good. Dolph makes AJ look good. And and obviously after that, again, more attacks after the match. What do you expect? For 43 there. Yes, Bobby Trust does the same. AJ Styles and he'll team up to take out the Dirty Dogs. But then when they turn around, obviously there's tension. They look at each other, and it's kind of like they're not friends. There is respect there, but they're not friends. So they basically start arguing. like basically like, I don't need your help. No, no, it's fine. Okay, I don't need your help. And it's just like that kind of stuff. And it ends up, and that's how they end the segment. But yeah, so it's kind of respect, but it's like not too much respect, if you know what I mean. So, but yeah, so interesting to see where that goes. Obviously, we've got 1 week. So I've got something interesting planned for the final week for that feud. So, obviously, after that, we hear from, obviously, she's the person in charge, obviously, Sonya Deville, talking about, she said she'd been interviewed about a Battle Royal tonight, saying she might have a surprise coming her way. For 35, yeah, so she made that Battle Royal to find who's the last person going to be in the Women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania. And she's basically like, there might be 1 or 2 surprises in that you might like. You could be surprised, might not, but you know how GMs are. They like to hype up anything. So, but yes, obviously we'll find out that later on. But obviously after that, we hear from Carmella, who's got a match against Bianca Belair. Obviously she attacked her last week, and kind of she's just talking about what she's going to do with that money. All that money she's got, that bounty that's on Bianca Belair's head that Becky's put out. What she's going to do with all that money. And yeah, to set up the match, it's obviously the match against Bianca Belair this after the segment. So for 39, yeah, it's just, yeah. I like the idea of her going, I'll buy a new tan, I'll buy new clothes, I'll buy this, I'll buy that. I'll make sure that, Miller is money. It's truly what she'll be when she has all that money to spend after taking out Bianca Belair and fulfilling her destiny. So yeah, for 39, again, it's not great. I've got to be honest, some of the clips, this might put the show rating down a little bit, but that's fine. But obviously, after that, that match is next. Bianca Belair, Carmella, who's going to win? You got a reason, you got a clue where they're going to go, but let's find out. So the last match is, for 43, very good there, is obviously Bianca Belair with a kiss of death from the 10-minute match. Good here, obviously 45 by Bianca Belair, 29 by Carmella. But yeah, good stuff here, obviously. So nothing really crazy here. It looks like Bianca Belair, look, she's surviving at the moment after even having a bounty on her head. But she survived the match, but she didn't survive the attack from behind from Zelina Vega. A 2-on-1 beatdown by Carmella and Zelina Vega on her. And yeah, so finally she got taken out for 37. This one is just basically, yeah, beat down. Then obviously after Bianca Belair is taken out, Becky gives both of them the money. They are glee with all this money, like a briefcase of money. They run out, and he's got Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, knee down with her title, saying, "This will never be yours, and it would always be mine." So yeah, not a great score, but I like the idea that basically, like, finally the bounty's been on. They're going to all this money. See what Carmella and Zelina Vega do with the money. So interesting. So obviously after that, we hear from 3 of the 4 competitors in that ladder match for the US title at WrestleMania. And yeah, you've got backstage, you've got Finn asking how Dominic Mysterio is doing. Obviously he's sort of taken out 2 weeks ago. So obviously, and they get interrupted by Seth and The Miz, and saying some pretty horrible things to Rey Mysterio. So obviously that gets a 57, very good there. But yeah, just talking about how his son is in Seth Rollins, talking about how the reason he got taken out because he's weak. You know, he's bad. He's basically because you didn't teach him how to be tough in this industry. You know, how to be street smart. So you're just a terrible teacher. And obviously Rey takes exception to these comments. And obviously he tries to go after Seth and Miz. Finn kind of stops him and goes, "No, don't let him get you. They just want to get you antagonized. Let's take that aggression. What about you two face us in a tag team match? And that what about have that tag team match next?" And they're kind of like, because that's what he kind of wanted. Like, okay, cool. Okay, you won. And then they walk away. And yeah, sets up the match. This next tag team match, Finn Balor teaming with Rey Mysterio going against Seth Rollins and The Miz. Who's going to win? Who's going to maybe get a bit of momentum going into that ladder match? Let's find out. So the winner's match is, for 51, yes, Finn Balor, Rey Mysterio win. The way I've done this is Finn, Seth Rollins and Rey are fighting on the outside, and Finn hits a 1916 on The Miz for a win. And ironically, the game done exactly the way I rated it. Nice job, game. Nice job. So yes, obviously high score is obviously Seth with 55, 41 by Miz, 48 by Finn Balor, and a 38 by Rey Mysterio. Good match overall, a solid match. I like it. And yeah, I mean, I like the idea that maybe Finn's maybe building up some momentum. Obviously, you've got the champs building momentum. You've got KO's got a bit of momentum going for him. All kinds of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. But yeah, Finn's got a bit of momentum going. Maybe that might serve him well going into the match. We'll find out obviously next week and at WrestleMania. So obviously after that, we hear from a possible winner that wants to be in that Battle Royal at WrestleMania as well. Wants to be. Alexa Bliss talking about how her kind of new vow to help people is going to start by helping people by winning this Battle Royal and helping people believe that anything's possible when you accept your failings and you can move on from the bad things you've done. And that's for 37 there. Alexa Bliss is poorly about trying to improve. Okay, again, not true. You're doing bad choices here. But yeah, so obviously got that. Basically, I just like the idea of Alexa Bliss is like this redemption arc. It's Alexa Bliss. How can you sit there and not have like a situation where she wins? Just she gets her soul back, as they say, and you don't try and use that as a momentum to maybe bigger up as a bigger star than she was. It's just basics. It's just a really more interesting story. So she's obviously got this momentum. Will she take that momentum into that Battle Royal? And is she going to maybe book her place in the Women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania? Let's find out. So we've got a 10-match women Battle Royal. Winner gets the final spot in the other Battle Royal. So a Battle Royal to find out the other Battle Royal. I know it's confusing, but it makes sense. But yes, let's find out. And the winner of it is, for surprisingly really good, so 37. Yes, of course. Alexa Bliss wins. So it was pretty obvious, wasn't it? It's going to happen. So yes, obviously we had Dana Brooke, we had Doudrop, we have Lacey Evans, Liz Morgan, Nicholas ASH, Queen Selena, Rhea Ripley, Sonya Deville, and Tamina. Yeah, obviously it's really hard to do them kind of stuff when. So yeah, I know you've got people like Rhea Ripley and Liz Morgan already in it. Well, kind of already in it. They've kind of announced to be in it. But this first time, like this final spot. But it's fine. I mean, you have to do this kind of stuff. I just want to do Battle Royal. Let's be honest. So, yeah, I like the idea that it's crazy Battle Royal with the final two being Sonya and Alexa Bliss. They're fighting on the outside of the apron. She does a drop kick, kicking it from my leg. She falls to the floor. Alexa Bliss gets the win. And, yeah, okay, I like the idea. We like the idea that basically the other men's final for Rhea Ripley, Liz Morgan, Zelina Vega, and Rhea Ripley. Yeah. In the final elimination, Trooper Moss eliminations. Yes, exactly how I booked it. But yeah, so obviously she gets the win, so she gets a spot. So it looks like things are on the up for her. Obviously, then we have a nice moment in the ring. 4:45, we've got a friend, Nikki ASH, comes in and kind of hugs her, kind of happy that a friend has got a bit of done something that makes her happy and won something that's really cool. Momentum is everything. But I like the idea that Liz Morgan and Rhea Ripley come in and they're all just pointing at the trophy. The trophy that everyone's going to win is going to be on the side of the ring. Everyone's pointing at it. And obviously it's going to be a situation of all saying, no, I'm going to win it. And yeah, it's going to set up an interesting match. Battle, who's going to win? So many people on Raw, so many people on SmackDown. Who's going to win it? It'll be fascinating to see who I actually pick, right? Be fascinating. You should definitely check out, like and subscribe, check that out. So obviously after that we hear from the challenger for the United States Championship tonight, KO, talking about how he's gonna win the US title again, and he is gonna take where he belongs, and he's gonna become the prize fighter that he was all those years ago. For 58, very good there from KO. But yes, this is basically I want him to say, the face of America KO or the prize fighter KO. And if you're a prize fighter, you need gold so you can defend it. And also tonight, he's going to get that gold. If it's going to be tonight or it's going to be at WrestleMania, either way, sooner or later, that gold is going to be his US title gold. It's going to be around his waist. So yes, obviously that match is next. We've got Damian Priest, Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. Who's going to win? Is it going to be KO or is it going to be Damian Priest? Let's find out. And for that match to be 52, very good there. For both scoring a 47, very good. I like that. But this one, I kind of like the idea that basically, as it said here, Dominic Stu makes his lovely return after being 2 weeks out, and he comes back. Obviously, I like the idea that basically, KO hit the stunner, and he looks like he's going to get the 1, the 2. Then he turns around and sees Dominic Mysterio walking on the top of the ramp, and he kind of like shouts at him from the top, and then basically, shouts him at the top, saying, "What the hell are you doing here?" Turns around, he runs into a reckoning by Damian Priest. He gets the win, and he defends his title for 7th time. I really try to push the United States Championship here, and so like he comes back and he costs KO the match. KO's not going to be happy about that. So obviously we get to the bit after the match. Obviously KO's pissed with that for 40 with Dominic Mysterio, kind of like in the he's at the top of the stage. I put that he's at the top of the stage, and he's basically like laughing because he just cost him a US title match. I've got a feeling that KO is going to be after him in that ladder match as well as next week, so I don't think Dominic Mysterio will be laughing for very long. But tonight he gets the upper hand. KO, Damian Priest is still your US champion, so it'll be interesting to see. So we're getting near to the main event now. So next, we're going to hear from the challenger Big E talking about, like, keep getting asked, who is he facing? Who is he facing? So 456, it's basically a situation of Big E talking about how who is he going to pick tonight? Who is he going to pick? And he's talking about saying, I don't want to say anything, but all I can say, he's a former WWE champion. And basically, Bobby will now feel how he has felt every single day ever since he didn't win the WWE championship type situation. It's basically he wants him to feel the kind of how he felt after losing the title. All the weeks of being like 2-on-1s, getting people to take him out, the uncertainty who he can face, and obviously now it's like now Bobby can finally feel how that feels like. And so who's it going to be? Who's the mystery opponent? Who's he picked? Let's find out in the main event of this edition of Monday Night Raw. Let's find out. And the winner of this match is, for 61, Randy Orton. And yes, obviously it's, we've got, 61, 58 by Bobby, 61 by Randy. Very good main event. Maybe not the way I would have done it, but I like the idea that the match ends with Riddle on the apron, trying to distract the ref or trying to distract Bobby Lashley. But for some reason, Bobby tries to hit him. He accidentally hits Randy. Obviously, the ref doesn't see it. Boom, hits a spear out of nowhere on Randy Orton. And then, boom, 1, 2, 3, and he gets the win, but just thanks to botched interference by Riddle. He's been all over this show. And obviously, we kind of end the show with a nice segment with Randy and Riddle kind of arguing in the ring. 463, very good there, arguing in the ring, where you've got basically Bobby, Big E and Bobby Lashley facing off at the top of the stage. I like visual storytelling. I love it. It's going to be a camera angle of like Randy and Riddle arguing in the ring, Big E and Bobby Lashley at the top staring down. So so obviously Bobby gets the win, but who's Big E going to make him face on the Go Home show? And is this the beginning of the end for the Arcade Bros? We don't know, so we'll find out next week. But that should have been the show. Pretty decent, nothing too crazy. So if I can at least get to 50, I would be very happy. For that 63, you should get at least a 58. Or 54 would be a good shout. So let's find out what this edition of Monday Night Raw gets, and it gets a 62. Wow, that done way better than I expected. Obviously the main event got 61. Obviously them 37s and 30s for 39s, like they got quite low. I was right there, but I think surprisingly done well. I think again it's another one of the shows I think pretty decent, good, but I think the main event's really carried it. But 62, I'm very happy with that. I mean, we've been on this for a while, this show. So I mean, it sets up quite nicely, obviously, the Go Home show. See if we can. I've got to check the score, see if it's gone up or it's one about a good level going into WrestleMania. But we'll find out. But 62. better than I expected. That's very good there. So yeah, let's roll on to SmackDown. But yeah, 62 for Raw. Very good, happy with that. Very happy indeed. So yeah, 62. Better than I expected, 100%. I said on the, just briefly, I've like, 58. I think there was 30, them low 30s, mid 30s I thought would really put the show down. But again, it was a very solid main event, obviously, with Bobby Lashley going against Roman Reigns. Bobby Lashley going against Randy Orton. Where am I getting Roman Reigns from? Wrong show. That's on SmackDown. But yes, obviously that went well. The obviously tag teams time match went well. The Battle Royal surprisingly went better than I expected. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff just kind of clicked to good. It was good. It was a solid show. I think hopefully it builds up quite nicely to the WrestleMania that I am building. But yeah, so obviously that's I'm just really proud of it. Yeah, really good stuff there. Obviously for Raw we'll be back here probably again. We'll be back next week actually, because obviously I'm planning to release, because I didn't release a review last week. I'm going to release 2 videos this week to counteract for you people. So obviously that means we're going to have our edition of SmackDown is going to be out on Friday. So we're going back to the old schedule. So just for this week only, just because I've got the other one planned, so I can get that done quite quickly. So that will get done. That'll be out on Friday. So, but yes, obviously for this Raw, it'll be out. But next week it'll be back to the normal of Wednesdays at 4:30. But this week, I've just, because a lot of stuff, I thought I'd put 1 or 2 just so we can catch up and just get to WrestleMania. Because at the moment I want to get to WrestleMania, and then we're gonna have a nice little week break of that as well, just so I can, and we're gonna have an edition where we're gonna look at where everything is, what shows we've got left to do, where everyone's like progressed, all that kind of stuff, and see what our next move is. And we're gonna normally I'll do it on the stream, but I want to do it in like a separate video, so we're gonna do that. But until then, next edition is going to be Friday. SmackDown, obviously the big one. We've got SmackDown. We've got the final of the number 1 contendership Intercontinental tournament with Cesaro going against Drew McIntyre, with the winner going against Nakamura at WrestleMania. So that's huge. We have Brock in action again as well. And yeah, there's some big matches there. Obviously, I don't want to reveal too much, so make sure you like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss anything. So until then, I don't have more to say. Enjoy the rest of your week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And yeah, I'll be back on Friday for more TW 2020 Modern Day WWE Save. Let's go. So yeah, until then, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you at the next video. See you everyone. Bye-bye.